Hey friends, not foes. Um, we're gonna do something different tonight. I've been making custards and lemon curd and all kinds of things for days, and that means I have probably up to 32 egg whites. I stopped counting a long time ago, and I didn't measure them because I knew I had things to make with egg whites. So one of the cakes that scares many people is angel food cake. And I don't think it's that scary. I have my tube pan with a removable center and the tines for placing it upside down. I'll tell you about that later. I'm turning, because this actually takes very little time and you want to be fairly quick about it, turning the oven to 350, letting it warm up. There's very little flour in this. It's all meringue based. And I'm just going to do 1.5 cups of cake flour, sifted. Cake flour is basically all-purpose flour. Ooh, I love my little, let me get my little thing out there. It's my favorite item. I better buy another one in case I lose it. I lose things. So the cake flour is basically all-purpose flour that has been infused with cornstarch. If you Google it, you can make your own. I have done in the past. There's a ratio, but I have corn flour. That's one. Let's get my half cup in there. So this really big cake only has this much of flour. So that's nice to know. So I'm going to sift it, which is a good thing because I don't use cake flour very often and it's quite dense. It kind of settled in the pot. Something I'm missing, hold on, my spatula. This gets all the lumps out. It helps to spread through this fine sieve. Let's go here. Let's go, Brandon. Okay, let's go. Okay. So that's nice and fluffy. Nothing else going on with that, but I'll need this again. Sorry for the bang. The other thing we need to do is get our, hold on, we need light brown sugar. This is not a typical angel food cake. Well, actually, let's do the egg whites first. I have a lot of egg whites, and this cake takes 1 3/4 cups egg whites to make the leavening. And they are cold, but it's okay for this purpose. I'm just gonna go up 1 3/4. Wow, so I only have enough left for maybe making some cookies. That's good. Some lovely melt in your mouth cookies. I'm gonna put that in the mixer. And we're going to, now, just a second here. What makes this an unusual angel food cake is that I'm using brown sugar. Normally, you would use icing sugar or superfine sugar. but I think this will taste amazingly. So we want to get another bowl. Hold on. You know what? I just realized that I put too much flour. It's 1 1/4 of self-rising flour. So I'm going to remove 1/4. My mistake. Mistakes are important. We learn from them. And then we're going to do 1 1/2 cups brown sugar. Light brown sugar, sifted. I'm going to take out my sugar weight. So cute, very effective. Don't care if it's cute, it's effective. And then we're going to add 1 cup. Okay, wait a second here. Wait. I need to rough this up a bit. So that I can get a full cup. Just kind of get that. It's not rock solid like you would have if you had no sugar saver. We don't want to pack it, but we don't want it to be rock solid either. And so I'm just gonna put some more in here to top it off. Chop a little. Okay, that's 1. And this is the half. The half has some solids in. Bump them out. That's a half. This is gonna be a kind of an experiment because I've never made brown sugar into a food cake before. And I'm just gonna press this in and get it through the sieve. I feel like regular sugar, there's something I gotta take out. I don't know what it is. I buy this in bulk, and sometimes there's little pieces of container. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna sift it. Then we're gonna add our cream of tartar to the eggs. But I don't think, oh, it looks pretty good. Very light. But I don't think you need to watch me get this light brown sugar through my sieve for the next 20 minutes. Oh, and there's something else weird. Okay. I'll keep going and I'll come right back. I just want to show you that the best way to sieve brown sugar through a fine sieve like this, I've discovered that the best way is to use the whisk in combination with the spatula. It gets kind of damp at the bottom, and so you need the whisk to break it up. And then you might want to use this whisk spatula to get it through. And so I did that, and it comes out very fine. It's kind of surprising, actually. I've never really done this before. So next up, we have our 1 3/4. This is the equivalent of 14 large egg whites. It's 1 3/4 in the measuring cup, fluid out 1 3/4 cups. And we're gonna whisk this starting on low, and we're gonna put in the newly refined brown sugar, a little at a time. Don't worry, we're gonna be blending this at a much higher speed. The oven is heated to 350 because you don't want to waste time. Once you get a rise, you get the heat. You get the rise in the egg whites. You don't want them to settle. And that's basically the brown sugar. It looks super dark now. That's kind of interesting. Gonna try to get this to a frothy stage before adding our cream of tartar. Cream of tartar is, like I said earlier in another episode, a compound derived in the late Victorian period, industrial age, whatever you want to call it, 1880s, 1860s. Let's get this. That mimics the way, let's turn that off so you can hear me. It mimics the way copper pots produce the frothiest egg whites and meringues. So it was made intentionally because home cooks didn't often have copper pots, and I certainly don't. They're really expensive, and I'd love a set, but you know, I don't have it. Going up to medium here I want frothiness before I add the cream of tartar. Then I'm going to add 1.5 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Looking for frothy. Okay, that's on 6 out of 10. It's at the highest speed. Wow, it looks really, really brown. I think I'm gonna like the result. Okay, that's frothy. So here's 1 teaspoon leveled. And I'm gonna do the 1/2 teaspoon. It's quite a lot more than any meringues you might make, but remember we have 14 egg whites, not just 2 or 3. 2 or 3 could make 30 meringue kisses, in my experience. Okay, and then I'm just gonna ramp that up to full speed. High speed. And we're gonna bring out my large antique mixing bowl that I truly adore. It's Cornish ware from the 60s. I think I'll turn this off now until we get to the stiff peaks stage. Well, it's definitely tripled in volume. You have to keep, that's my 5-minute measure. Let's see if they are stiff. They are glossy peaks. That shows that the sugar is incorporated. And that's stiff. So that's perfect. I'd say that took about 6 minutes on high. Love the brown color, the brownish, beigeish color. Where's my thing? Oh, So we're gonna put the whole thing into the large bowl, like this. This is basically 3/4 of what the cake is gonna look like, gonna be made of. More than 3/4. So check that out. Looks like a fabulous modern sculpture. I want to get everything I can because we don't waste. And there's a little, the hard part now is the folding. This is basically a meringue, and I'm going to fold in this very small amount of cake flour, and I want to do it 1/3 at a time. Okay, so that's 1/3. And what you do is you cut down the middle and then fold over, cut down the middle, then fold over. It's a little tricky since I'm working on the oven, and that may have bad results. Cut down, fold. I might actually get something to help me here. I got my pizza steel. It's gonna prevent heat from the oven to get up into my bowl. Heat is the nemesis because it just makes everything melt. We have to cut in and fold, fold, turn, fold, turn, fold. I'm going to add another 1/3 of the flour. Let's see. Cut in and fold, cut in and fold. And the thing is, this is probably the reason people don't love doing cakes made of meringue. But in the olden days, this was the only way. But it does require that the flour be infused and liquid, and combined with the liquids. Fold, fold, without deflating the air that you've put in. And so I'm going to attempt that. I like to use my special device. God, I better buy a bunch of these, because if I lose this, I can't do anything. My offset spatula. Turning. See how the flour came out when I turned? That means I didn't cut. Fold, cut, fold, cut, fold, turn, cut and fold, cut and fold. This is how you would do a souffle with cheese. This is exactly the method. You can't make cheese souffle without meringue either. You basically can't make anything without, well, you can make a steak. That's not what I'm talking about. You all get that. Don't know why I had to say it. So we're gonna do this cut and fold, cut and fold, cut and fold, cut and fold. Still fluffy, and I can see some pieces in there, but I'm not done yet. I can actually feel a little coolness from this pizza steel, bread steel. It's protecting me and my batter. So I'm gonna put the rest in. Not very much. Goes in the sink. Then we're gonna cut and fold, turn, cut and fold, turn, cut and fold. That was just a fold. I'll cut and fold. And, you know, folding before cutting is okay too. Okay. I just want to keep everything together. And I gotta cut and fold. The flour's not super happy, but you know what makes me happy is that all that brown sugar is in there, and it didn't, and it was still inflatable. So cut and fold, cut and fold. I'm just moving and folding. Then I'll cut and fold the other way. And then I'm just gonna keep folding, 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 folding. You see it's deflated a bit, but not a lot. That's what we want. Gonna cut and fold, cut and fold, cut and fold. Okay, not too much, but I don't see any flour. Okay, so this is where we go to our special funnel pan. And the funnel pan has legs on it. And that's because this air, after it's inflated and cooked, by the virtue of the fact that there's gravity in the world, will deflate. And I'll show you that later. Okay, so we're gonna pour in the funnel pan like this, and we're gonna fill it. It could end up being half full, could be more. So I just want to show you how to fill the pan while telling you about the pan. The pan should have no butter, no grease, no water whatsoever, because this kind of cake, the angel food cake, just rises by virtue of gripping sides as it cooks. And those sides keep it one level at a time, one building at a time after the other as it rises up the sides. And if you have any kind of grease or dirt or water or butter, it won't do that. It'll slide back down and you'll have a rock. Okay, that's the thing in the, I guess I made a little bit of a mess, but we're just gonna gently get this down. Not down, no pressing. I'm not pressing at all. I just want to flatten the top, and you don't want to handle it. You want to no handling. All right. So we got, I'm going to use, my hands are covered in now. Let's just say it tastes really nice. But we're just going to do a nice leveling. I'm not pressing. In fact, I'm not pushing in any way. And that's quite lovely. I can't tip it to show you because it's level right now. But for 35 minutes, I'll check it. It might go to 45 minutes because I want some browning on the top. Here we go. Wish me luck. Okay, folks. So it appears that my my brown sugar angel food cake is ready. That's why this thing is beeping. And it needs to come out and be held upside down for 1 hour at least, so that it doesn't flatten out. There's no leavening here except for the meringue. I turned the oven off, but in the meantime, we can start to make the hot fudge sauce. So I'm turning the back burner on. I have a cup of heavy cream. I would like to see if I can get as much out as possible. No one wants to waste. And we're gonna do, okay, that's half a cup of cream. And then we're gonna do, you know, hot fudge sauce is not like some delicacy. It's more like what you find in a diner. But that's okay. So it's also good. Who doesn't want some of that? So I'm going to do half a cup of light corn syrup. This will keep the chocolate from solidifying. And we're going to bring the entire thing to a simmer, at which point I'm going to add 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate and mix that up. And that will provide a lot of fudge sauce. And let's just mix this up, get the thing going. This fudge sauce can be kept in the refrigerator for many days, probably 5 or even a week. But let's just get it going. But then you can heat it up again because of the corn syrup. You won't crystallize the chocolate by reheating it in a pan, or I'd say if you microwave it at slow intervals. Remember, this cake is inverted for a reason. It's so that any of the stickiness will not deflate onto the bottom. It will fill out over the hour, but it needs to be fully chilled before you remove it. Okay, you can hear it. Oh, I can hear it, but it's coming to a simmer. The corn syrup and heavy cream is coming to a simmer. And this is the stage where you take it off the heat because you don't want to be cooking anything. Let's just make sure I see that simmer again. Yeah, I see it. Tiny bubbles. And we're gonna add 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate. And stir, stir, stir. Stir. This should not be an issue. You need to, well, the steam is an issue because it just made myself a mess. Maybe something harder to clean. Turn that off. And we're gonna just make the sauce. I'm not using a whisk because I don't want it to get clogged up until we have some melting going on. Perhaps I'll give it a try now. Oh yeah, that's nice. Can you see it? That's what you expect. Nice rich darkness, very shiny, and it's warm. I'm going to keep it that way so that I can put it over my angel food cake made from with brown sugar. And my espresso ice cream because that's what I want. You can have any ice cream or no ice cream. But check it out, how beautiful it is. Okay, and the rest can go in an airtight container in the fridge. Back in an hour for plating. Okay, so I have a cake plate here. I wish I had a just nice big ceramic plate, but all I have is my cake stand. And I just want to make it a little bit pretty. I'm going to attempt to remove the angel food cake from the tin. And that's going to require using a very sharp knife around the outside, like this. This is my deboning knife. It's the sharpest one I have. So we're just gonna go like that around the outside. And I think that's gonna look really good. Now, I need to cut it close to the funnel on the inside. It's pretty sharp, so be careful. And I'm going to try to take it off. Let's see here. Going to have to cut around the bottom. It's nice and light. Smells amazing. It's definitely cooled down. I just want to make sure I get it without crumbling. That's what I want. Okay, so it's a bit warm on the inside. Turn it upside down. This is what you normally see. This is how you drip it with chocolate fudge sauce. I'm not trying to make a pretty pattern. I'm just trying to get something going down the sides, like that, and make it a little expressionistic. Perhaps I'll squeeze some down the sides, and then we'll have something to show for all of our work. And later I'll plate it with a piece of ice cream, a nice scoop. And like I said, I'm just gonna pour this around the top and help it go down the sides like that. And give it a little drizzle. A drizzle, and a drizzle. Making sure not to disturb the layers, or not to disturb the, what you would call the creme. That's pretty good. What do you think?